904, Jacksonville's hometown real estate show every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on 97.3 The Game. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, you're looking to refinance, you can give us a call at 904-877-1234. Again, that number is 904-877-1234.
Or as always, connect with us on Facebook by searching Living in the 904. Like our page, follow us there, and we look forward to chatting with you on Facebook.
And we have Ray Rivera with us. So he's one of the brokers of Exit Real Estate Gallery, and they're literally everywhere. I mean, you guys have an office at the airport. You're all over town. You have some great agents. I personally work with a lot of your agents, and we have some good partnerships there. Obviously, the show that we do with the real estate boys, Daniel and Mo. But let's talk to Ray. And I know you've known Ray for a very long time, right, Daniel?
Yeah. So, Mo and I both have been with Exit Real Estate Gallery for over a decade. I've been in the real estate business for 11 years. The month of June 2019 is my anniversary. And it's very easy for me to remember how long I've been in the business because I started exactly 1 month after my daughter was born. So I remember when I first met Ray, I first got my license. When I was getting my license, my wife was pregnant. And I was getting ready to start a new career in real estate. And at the time, I wanted to start part-time at first because I had a baby along the way and I wasn't ready to let go of my other income. And I had met with a couple other brokerages in town interviewing, and every time I left from those meetings, I left discouraged, man, am I doing the wrong thing getting into real estate? The real estate market had just crashed, and they were just very pessimistic about the whole thing, about me starting at the time I was, about me starting part-time. And then I met somebody at a Starbucks. It was an agent that worked for Exit Real Estate Gallery. I saw her, she had cards on the table and stuff like that, and I was just walking through. And I said, oh, I see you're a real estate agent. And she said, yeah. And she was super excited about the brokerage. And she said, you got to meet my broker. So she set up a meeting with Ray. And I remember that day because my wife was with child, pregnant, baby in the belly, and actually drove me there as a weekend. He met me at our original office there across from the Metro Diner in San Marco. And my wife, she said, I'll wait in the car. So she's waiting in the car with my baby. Water could break any moment. And I went inside and met with Ray, and we had a great conversation. And he said some of the same stuff that the other people said, in that, hey, it's a challenging time in the market to be part-time, this and that. But he said, but we'll support you. And he talked about the resources that they provided, and they talked about the support. And for the first time I walked out of there, I'm sure my wife remembers this, I got in the car and I just kind of sat for a second. I said, I think this is the place where I need to be. And I joined with them, and I've been working with Ray and Sonny ever since for 11 years. And that's it's been great growing with Exit Real Estate Gallery. There was one office at the time, and now we've got 7 plus the airport office. We're going to open up one in a Moe's burrito place here soon too. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, great. Love working with Ray, and excited to talk to him today.
Yeah, no, let's get to know Ray Rivera. And by the way, thank you so much for being on our show. We really thank you for being here. But let's get started. What brought you to Jacksonville?
Well, thanks guys for having me here today, and I appreciate all the kudos. But it going back to that conversation we had, I was in my mid-30s at the time, running a brokerage with Sonny, and you took a chance on us just like we took a chance on you. And, that's a little bit about how the whole exit culture is. It's agents helping agents, brokers helping agents. But I moved to Jacksonville in 2005. I grew up in South Florida, in Miami. Wasn't born in Miami, but I consider it my hometown because I went through my childhood there. Was a big Dolphin fan, big Hurricane fan.
Marino.
That's right, Dan Marino era. That's exactly right. And then after I graduated high school, I went to the University of Alabama. Culture shock for me, moving from Miami to Alabama. And we have a great football team, in case you guys don't know. And then from graduated from Alabama, I went to New York and I started at a bank and worked in finance and management. And I worked there for about 2.5 years, moved back down to South Florida. From South Florida, I moved with the job to the West Coast and moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And then from Phoenix, my wife and I decided to start a family, and we looked for places where we wanted to get back to the East Coast where my family was and my wife's family was, and they both happened to move to Jacksonville. My wife's family, my wife's parents and my parents, and so we're like, let's give Jacksonville a shot. And
So you've been here for a while now. What do you like about living in Jacksonville?
I love, growing up and living in different cities that are bigger cities than Jacksonville. We saw the potential of living in Jacksonville. I love Jacksonville that has so much potential. The people are great. There's a lot of things to do. You have the beach, you have the sports. If you're a sport aficionado or you love sports, we have every sport here that you can watch. And it's really great for families. So I think it's a great city with a lot of potential.
Yeah, I know yourself, you have some personal ties to professional sports, PGA to be exact. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I love golf. You might say I'm good, Mo. I'm not as good as I want to be. That's the one game that you're never as good as you want to be at it. But my wife was a professional tennis player back in the day, and her sister was a professional tennis player back in the day. And my sister-in-law was the tennis pro at Marsh Landing and met her future husband, or now husband, Russell Knox, who was a JU graduate, worked his way up and now is, I think, number 70 in the world and 2 or 3 time PGA champion. And so, yeah, it's nice, having a professional athlete in the family. I just wish you'd give me more golf tips.
It's good DNA, right? Spin off to your child. I like it.
Yeah.
Ray, I read you were one of the Wolves of Wall Street. What else did you do before real estate? What else did you get into?
That's pretty funny. I actually worked on Wall Street my first job out of college, and I was like, man, this is great. But when you're 22 years old and you get thrown at a job like that, it's not what you think it is. But my first job was at a bank on Wall Street. I worked as a management assistant. We worked on municipal bonds, and not to bore everybody here. I did that for a couple of years, and I was like, I don't really think I want to do this for the rest of my life. And so I went from working at a bank on Wall Street, I went back home to South Florida, and I got my master's in teaching, and I was actually a teacher in the Miami school district for about 3 years. Then I got called back. My cousin was living in New York City and said, hey, and if you guys remember the .com era where all the stocks were going crazy, anything that had a .com after it, called me up and said, we're making a lot of money. And so I left teaching, went up to back to New York, and I did make some pretty good money for a few years until the type of trading that we did, now all the computers do it. This is called black box trading. And then I got actually in, Vince, the mortgage side of the business.
Okay.
So when I went from stock trading to being a stock broker, I got into real estate investing. And when I saw 2 crashes. I saw the .com crash, and then I got into real estate. I got into the mortgage business. And at the time, and Vince knows this, you could be a real estate agent and a mortgage broker.
Right.
And the banks didn't really care about that. And then after the crash, I pretty much had to choose, did I want to stay on the mortgage side of the business or the real estate side of the business, and I chose the real estate side of the business. I liked it a lot more.
And how did that all come about? How did you get started officially here, in real estate?
So when I moved from Phoenix, I didn't want to be a stockbroker anymore, and so when I came to Jacksonville, is where I met my real estate partner at the time, Sonny Downey. He was at a real estate company and saw me, and this is a quick funny story. Vince, he sees me, and my name is Ray Rivera, so that's a pretty Spanish last name. So he was like, oh yes, I'm going to partner with this guy. He's going to speak Spanish. We're going to make a great duo. And then, a couple of days into our relationship, our business relationship, he's like, hey, so I have a Spanish customer. Do you think you can help him out? I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. So thank God my wife does. And so she helped me out for the transaction. But, Sonny worked with the listings. I worked with the buyers. And I was at the time dabbling in the mortgage business, then realized, hey, it's better to have somebody that specializes in mortgages doing that and will handle the sale of the property.
So how did Exit Real Estate Gallery officially get started? Like, when did you guys take the leap of starting the brokerage?
So in 2007, we were contacted by the Exit salesperson that sells franchises around the state. And if you know, 2007, 2008 was the apex of the real estate market. So we loved the concept. The Exit concept was different than any other concept around. We share money's revenue with our agents, so our agents are in the business with us. It's not a multi-level, an MLM, it's nothing like that. It's, you know, an agent brings somebody into the company, we give them 10% of whoever they bring in from the company's portion of the commission. So it's a really neat concept where we're all in it together, and it really helps with the culture of the office. So they came with us with this opportunity, like, hey guys, we were young in our 30s, you know, we'd love for you to grow this brand in Jacksonville. We don't really have any people in Jacksonville with this brand. So we were young, gung-ho, we did it, we bought the franchise, and in 6 months the market crashed. So we were like, oh my God, what did we just do?
Yeah. And a lot's happened since then.
A lot's happened since
A lot of
then.
growth.
In life, I tell people, some people call it luck, I call it timing. So the timing was actually great for the concept, because since we're all in it together and everybody makes money on the people they bring in, when the market went down, agents were looking for another way to make money in real estate. And so we were able to recruit agents in, and our agents were able to make money on the agents that they recruited in, and it really helped grow the company. And then the other second thing that really helped us is we understood, being younger in the business, that the technology and the internet was going to take over real estate. So we focused our company when we first got started on internet leads. And you know, I was proud to say we were one of the first in Florida, first in Jacksonville to really do that. And that all those things helped us grow to where we are. We're 460 agents now.
Yeah, so, I mean, doing this now for a little over 10 years, I know just working with different companies, everyone's trying to be different. So what's different about Exit?
I mean, real estate is real estate. You know, Mr. Watson started real estate, his Watson Real Estate Company 50 years ago. And real estate is still done the same. You still have the agent that should be that neighborhood expert and that mortgage representative that you're working with that specializes in the mortgage business to help you through the process. The things that have changed is technology, and with Exit we have all the top technology that's out there to, you know, facilitate the transaction, and we partner ourselves with the vendors out there that we feel and that we vet that we feel are going to give the best service to our customers. But the key is the agents. It's really, you know, what separates Exit from the competition, I feel, is we do a lot of training, we give a lot of support, but it's the agents that we have working for the company. We feel they're the best trained and the best agents in our industry here in Jacksonville.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
Ray, why is Exit Real Estate Gallery the place to be for just getting licensed, for people just getting licensed?
When, you know, going back to, you asked like, hey, how did we get started? What year did we get started? When we got started, why would anybody want to work for two 30-something-year-old kids, new real estate company? And we said, you know who we're going to go after? We're going to go after people that are not going to know any better. And so we're going to go after the new people. We're going to go after all the new people, the agents that the more experienced companies don't want to spend the time on. And so we developed a lot of training programs, a lot of support. We have a built-in mentoring system. So when we got started, we focused on those new agents, and we continue that today, you know, over 12, 13 years into the Exit brand here in Jacksonville. And we still have a part of the company where we focus on those new agents and mentoring them.
Okay, and besides new agents, like, I know there's a lot of real estate agents that listen to our show on Sundays. So if you're an experienced agent and you're looking to maybe make a move, what makes Exit different, or what can they do to join Exit Real Estate Gallery?
Great question. You know, we when you grow a company, you're trying to grow a big segment of agents. So you can't have a company with just new agents, and you don't want a company with all top producers. So you want to have that, make sure that the thing that separates Exit is, you know, we have 7 locations spread around Jacksonville. Our brokers, we don't compete with our agents. Our sole purpose is to help our agents grow their business. We have a lot of lead generation. We offer leads generation to our agents. We have relationships with Zillow, OpCity, which is another lead generation program. So for those agents that are out there that are looking for things that they can add to their business, we're going to provide those resources to them. We also, and we're a big proponent of staying local and being that local real estate company. And we're out there in the community sponsoring a lot of community events to get our agents out into the public.
So someone's getting their license, they're thinking about getting their license, they're watching HGTV a lot. What qualities make a good real estate agent?
I love HGTV because it brought a lot of people into real estate. Not to be Debbie Downer here, 80% of the people that get their real estate license are out of the business in 5 years.